Soaring numbers of soldiers are being forced out of the Army for misconduct. Thousands of enlisted soldiers were kicked out last year over drugs, alcohol, crimes, and other violations. The number shot up from about 5,600 at the height of the Iraq War in 2007 to more than 11,000 last year. And the number of officers forced out more than tripled in the past 3 years. Up from 119 officers back in 2010 to 387 last year. And it comes as the military cleans house after a decade of war. Observers say war might have led the Pentagon to focus more on competence than character in order to meet troop demands. Well, revelations of the spike in misconduct come at the same time as an increasing crackdown on religious liberty in the military. The Family Research Council is tracking that. Retired General Jerry Boykin with the FRC joins us now with insight on the issue. And General, do you see any connection between this rising misconduct and the increasing hostility against faith in the military?
I don't think there's any question about that. Remember that our military is really a reflection of our society. And you also need to understand that this administration, since 2008, has entered into a series of social experiments, social engineering, nothing to do with readiness, but everything to do with pushing the agenda, which I believe has had a direct correlation to the misconduct that you see today. As you see the declining morals in America, you see exactly the same thing in our military. And it all comes back to the what I think is a concerted effort to deprive the young men and women today that are serving from their constitutional liberties of freedom of religion.
So explain a little more how that plays out. If you have religious hostility in the military, how does that then lead to more misconduct in your view?
Well, every member of the military has an opportunity, theoretically, to decide what their own moral values are. But when they come into the military, there are certain moral standards that are expected of them. Now, when you have an environment where religion is not only protected but promoted, history shows that you certainly have a much more moral climate with fewer problems like we're seeing today. But what you have in our military today and all the services, this is not just the Army, is you have a situation where there is an effort underway to punish people that are very open about their faith. And we can give you chapter and verse from our research at the Family Research Council about how Christians especially are being persecuted in our military today for standing for their faith. And what you have then is you have Christians walking out of the military, and the climate continues to decline.
Let me just cut in there for a minute. We just have a short time left. At this point going forward, what do you think is going to happen, and how can we encourage greater character in our military?
Well, first of all, we need to put extreme pressure on the Department of Defense to ensure that we protect the religious liberties inside our military. And there are many groups that are working on that right now.
All right, General Boykin, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.